Hi there, welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about feature-driven pattern component placement in SOLIDWORKS assemblies today, as well as looking at collision detection and a few other things. So first, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to build a part here real quickly. It's just going to be a very simple flat plate. Okay, so I'm going to build a 10 by 10 plate that's going to be perforated steel, and it will have a bunch of holes in it. So I'm going to make it a 10-inch by 10-inch plate. I can go ahead and extrude that just to make it out a 1/4-inch plate, and there we go. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and perforate that with a bunch of different holes. So I'm going to start by placing one hole down here in the corner, and I'll dimension that guy as being maybe a 1/2-inch hole. Oops, 1/2-inch hole, and I'll locate it off the edge of the plate 1 inch to the center, 1 inch to the edge, and I'll do features, extrude cut through the plate. Alright, now I can go ahead and do a linear pattern. You should be familiar with this. I select the first direction. I'll say I want to go that way, and I want my spacing to be 1 inch, so they're evenly spaced there. And I'll select my second direction, make my spacing 1 inch again, and bada bing, I've got a plate with a bunch of holes in it. Okay, I'll go ahead and save this, hit my Control S, and I'll call it my plate. And yeah, I'll replace it. Okay, now I want to go ahead and make an assembly now where that plate is my primary part. Okay, so I can grab the plate, it's open here, and I'll stick it right there, it's fixed. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a component that's not shown here. I need to browse for it, and it's a little pin that I've created. Very simple. You could make this no problem. And you can see it doesn't show up in my list here, and that's because for some reason SOLIDWORKS is looking just for assembly files, and I actually want to make it a part file. And there's my pin, and I'll go ahead and open that up. Alright, and there's my pin, and I've made it so that the pin is just slightly smaller than that hole, so I can make it concentric. And now the pin can go in and out. I mean, this is a super basic assembly. Clearly you're going to be doing things far more complex than this, but I hope this is instructive for you. What I want to show you first is collision detection. And you can get collision detection by clicking on move rather than just clicking and dragging the part, actually clicking on move. And over here in options, if you click on collision detection, you can set a bunch of different settings. One I'm going to do is stop at collision, and as I drag the part now, when I hit the head of it hits that surface, both surfaces turn blue saying, hey, you just had a collision, and the system actually makes a ding noise if you have your system audio turned on. Okay, very handy tool. You can see it stops it so you know what the limit of the travel is there. Alright, the other thing that I want to show you though is, let's say I actually want a pin in every one of these holes. It would be really tedious to drag and drop each of the parts, right? I could click on the part, control drag, and it would kind of try and do a smart mate thing and stick it on here. I'm actually not going to undo that, and I want to show you how to insert linear component arrays. Okay, and let me actually back up. This linear component array will just put in a pattern of whatever parts you want, but I'm actually going to go to a pattern-driven component pattern. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of pattern. So you click on that guy, you click on the component you want to pattern, which is the pin. I want to put a pin in every hole, and then I click on what is the feature that drives this pattern, and it's the original pattern we made of holes. So when I click on that, it shows me, oh, I'll just I'll put a pin in every hole for you. Okay, you can even select instances to skip, so if I don't want a hole or pins in any of these holes, I just click on them and it won't put pins in those holes. I'll go ahead and hit check, and all my pins are in there. They're actually already mated. They're all mated together. So now if I move one of them, they all move together as a group. Okay, that's a pretty handy feature. I found this useful a lot of times when I have an array of or a feature that has some part that is attached to it in an assembly. This is what you're going to want to use to do that. All right, just a quick video. The next one's going to be about doing some mechanical mates, so tune in next time.